Hello, Richo from Fourth Dimension, Lumberton Trading Company, and all the rest of it, here once again for the first time since I think early December, November last year. I don't know. I wanted to do another upload before now, but everybody in my family has been sick on and off for about for well over a month now anyway, so and I'm at the tail end of it again at the moment, so that's one reason for my not having got here sooner than now. Not a great deal to report anyway, to be honest, apart from the fact I've had the worst haircut in ages. As you can see, look like a bloody potato. It's awful. I used to go to this guy in Krakow, and he's gone basically. And Ivana, my wife, used to go there as well, but he's gone. And since then, I've had to depend on kind of different places locally, and they're awful. So they never know quite what I want, and this is not what I want. But anyway, apart from that, not a great deal to report. The lowdown on my the sorry state of my hair. The real reason I'm here, to be honest, is just simply to draw attention to the fact that I've got a few fundraisers going on at the moment. Deals, fundraisers, bargains, whatever you want to call them, all linked below, including a direct one, just to see if I can drum up some more support. I've had a few people already contribute towards that, and I'm really grateful to them for their significant contributions as well. Everything's clear in all the blurb, I think, underneath this, but I thought if I at least do this as well, it might help emphasize my urgent need to clear some old stock, including some old mail order titles. I'm desperate to kind of reduce the amount of stuff I've got here. There's always new stuff coming in. I mean, it's not like daily, but yesterday or the day before, I had a few new titles come in from Sweden, from Discreet Music, of which I have to say this is glued to my turntable at the moment. John Collin, Bridge Variations. Never heard of this guy before, but the blurb on Discreet Music's website looked really interesting. So I've got a few of these in stock, as well as a few other titles. But that's just to exemplify what I mean. There's always stuff coming in here, and this is superb as well. It's playing in the background at the moment. You probably can't hear it. It does remind me of the upcoming Richard Young's LP that I should be doing in March, April this year as well. Very similar kind of drone infused with field recordings, and there's a lot of depth there as well, and it's not dark ambient as well. It's just not like that. It's kind of more organic, and for me, it's got more going on, and I prefer this kind of raw, earthy drone approach to drone music anyway. Similar to the old minimalists like Terry Riley and whatever. And John Cale and Lamont Young, those kind of people. That's always been my go-to with this kind of music anyway. The upcoming Richard Young's is very similar to that as well. Very similar approach. But more on that later. So yeah, I'm just really here before my voice packs up. Did a few lessons today, so that hasn't helped. Just to promote these fundraisers and to stress that I'm, eternally grateful to those people that keep ordering direct from me. I've had a few people come in for the deals as well. I really appreciate that. Some, again, large orders there that I really appreciate. But again, even just an order for a CD is welcome and much appreciated. Anything at the moment is helpful. Next week, um, all going well, financially, I mean, I should be seeing the Never Say When compilation CD arrive. That's the broken flag reissue that originally appeared on cassette and vinyl in 1987, and it's a fantastic compilation as well. It took quite a lot of work trying to gather everybody and get their approval. A bit of a ball ache, really, to be honest. But nonetheless, we got there. Gary took care of a couple of the artists. I think Controlled Bleeding and somebody else, but mostly it was down to me just trying to reach out to these people. Dave from the Grey Wolves was very helpful, as was another guy in even getting me some contacts, a guy from a label in America. But anyway, that CD, which is based on the long out of print and very difficult to find cassette version of Never Say When, should arrive or should be ready to come to me at the end of next week. At the same time, just to bring you up to date briefly, if you're interested, might not be, the special edition of Direct Action, featuring an extra track exclusive to the CD by Alternative TV, is also in production at the moment, and I think is on schedule for release in late February. What else? I've still got Bass Communion double LPs here, but I've only got about 36 copies left, unaccounted for. I'm still sending out direct orders at the moment. They're going out, but I should see the back of them by the end of next week as well, or at least most of them. I think I've got about 40 left. It's always a question of how many other packages and parcels I have to take to the post office each day. And I usually take a pile of Bass Communion double LP orders as well at the same time. But hopefully I'll be on top of those or most of them by the end of next week. What else? Once the bills have been paid for Bass Communion, and again, maybe I should point out, it's in the kind of blurb below. A few people, including artists that I work with, I can call them friends as well, really, because I know them well enough, said to me, surely you're doing okay with the labels because of Bass Communion. Well, yes and no, because although the Bass Communion album, both the CD, which sold out really quickly last year, and the double LP, which we had in December, have done really well. There's no denying that. But although there's still 35 copies left, so getting quick. Buy one. They look beautiful as well. But that's in the last upload. You can see me, swinging it around and holding it and trying to sell it in the previous video. But when I I depend on distributors and mail orders, but some of these places and my main distributor, um, I don't see money back from these places until much later, you know. So sometimes a bill comes in, and I haven't really, yeah. Of course, I get X amount of money from pre-orders. This is why I always ask for help with pre-orders, because it just gives a little pile of cash to go towards the bills as and when they come. Yeah, for the releases people have um, pre-ordered. So so there is that, but it's never quite enough to pay the whole bill. So that's the situation I'm in at the moment. Um, you know, and I can't make it any clearer than that. So yeah, when friends, artists, etc., say to me, "Surely you're doing okay because of base communion." Well, yes, to an extent, but I'm not going to see any of that um, for a number of months, you know. And I'm not going to lie, the bills are fucking high, so they're really really high. So you know, it it's not cheap to do a double LP with a 24-page booklet of photos and an Obi strip. It just isn't. Um, so yeah, the, yeah, and then as I said, I've got Direct Action, the ATV CD coming. I've got Never Say When, and there are a couple of other things in the wings as well. I've got obviously the um, When Worlds Collide double LP that got pushed back because of the Base Communion double LP situation. Um, but that's the next vinyl release I'm pushing through. You know, it's been at the test pressing stage for a while now, for far too long. But again, you know, I'm not. I'm sure some people have the wrong impression of me. I'm not a rich person. Yeah, we live in a house and whatever, and got a dog and a car and all that, and a daughter. But um, I've always struggled. It's never been easy. I keep my hand in with real work just to keep the wolves at bay, and I've always done that, and I've always had to do that. And I'm not complaining, but the I'm selling chunks of my record collection to pay bills, so that's the reality. Um, um, yeah, um, I'm just not. Never had been a very. Our car is 15 years old, I think. It's falling apart. So you know, and we keep having problems with it now, and I don't have any money to get a new car. So yeah. So the labels have always been a struggle, in addition to all the other daily life struggles as well. So uh, I always illustrate this, but yeah, don't be. I know there are people less fortunate and living in far worse conditions and all the rest of it. Of course, I do. I do have a sense of perspective, and I do realise how fortunate I am compared to a lot of people. But it's not all rosy, you know. So, and the labels. There's always part of me thinking, God, you know, they're a bit of an indulgence, really, you know. So, it, it's kind of a hobby that spiraled out of control, you know. So, in a sense, I love doing the labels though, and but again, I love writing more, and I never have time for writing much now because the labels kind of blossomed in the last couple of years. Um, yeah, but anyway, again, not complaining, but hopefully underlining the fact that the labels do really depend on direct support. And I've set up a few fundraisers to hopefully entice a few more people. There's a couple of really big label back catalogue deals left as well. One person already went for one of the three that are available, but if the other two went, it would be quite a help, you know, towards the upcoming CD bill. So, um, oh dear, that and me selling more of my old punk and post punk 7 inches next week. we'll see. So, um, I don't really have a problem selling my singles. Actually, I've sold 700 of them in the last few years, and I never played them. I just want to keep my own releases and a few like the ATV and the Ramley ones, things that related in a way directly to things that I've been involved with, like the Ramley book and the Mark Perry book. Um, couple, I even sold all my bloody Cure 7 inches. So, and I'm still a fan. Um, um, yeah, yeah, and they meant a lot to me especially as I was growing up. um, oh God, yeah, I'm still coughing and hacking away, as you can hear, and my voice is starting to crack. A blessing for just about everybody who knows me, I'm sure. I think I said the same thing in the last. Basically, all my family was sick in December for 2 or 3 weeks, and then we got better. I was the last one sick, like I am now, again, and we recovered for about 3 or 4 weeks, and then started getting sick again. And our daughter, who's sat at the back of this room at the moment, believe it or not, has been off kindergarten for the last 2 weeks. So what is it today? Friday. She'll hopefully be back on Monday, and I I hope next week I'll start feeling more or less back on track as well. But at the moment, my voice is ravaged, and um, yeah, I don't feel 100% just yet, and I keep coughing and hacking. So brilliant, great start to the new year. But again, not complaining because obviously some people have had far worse starts to the new year. So for various reasons, and you don't have to look far on the internet to see what I'm referring to. But yeah, I think I'll leave it there. Everything again is self-explanatory. It's all explained, I hope, fairly well, fairly clearly in the blurb. I always feel more comfortable writing than doing this, than orating. Although I have to, you know, meet lots of people and have conversations with them in lessons, so I am used to it. But I'm never comfortable doing just this, talking into a camera. And I've never done this before either. With our daughter sat at the back of the room. She's glued to Peppa Pig at the moment, and I'm not comfortable with that either. Far too much screen time. Yeah. Anyway, what can you do? At least I've managed to do this. I think I'm not even going to check it, make sure it looks okay or whatever, which is what I usually do. Now I think, oh God, I look awful, and it can sometimes take 3 or 4 attempts before I start feeling comfortable with what I'm saying and with how I look and the lighting and everything else. It's pretty dark here today. It's been really sunny this week in Belichka near Krakow. It's been really, and even like 12, 13, 14 degrees for a few days. We've had 1 week of snow. It's gone. We only had a few days of snow in December as well. It's really been a really mild winter, and as it has been for the last few years. I think it's going to get cold again next week. But there's no snow forecast, so probably a repeat of last year, where we might have one more snap of snow in February, and then spring will start kicking in, and I'm happy about that. But today is really dark, grey, miserable, perfect for those Cure records I mentioned. Yeah, and again, always check out my mail order or Discogs. Maybe I should put Discogs in the link that as well. But this is absolutely, it's been glued to my turntable since I first put it on yesterday. I just keep turning it over and repeat playing it. It's wonderful. And I think this is another problem as well. When I stock stuff, a lot of people don't take chances with unfamiliar territory. I think more people should do that. So yeah. But anyway, Yeah, fantastic album. Blew me away. I love receiving new stuff that I'm personally unfamiliar with, and then I'm completely bowled over by it. Yeah, this is a prime example. Joe, no, sorry, John, yeah, John Collin. I need to research his work, and I know nada about him. And I think if he's got any more CDs or vinyl out there, I need to get them because this is absolutely stunning. Anyway, enough of that and enough of this bullshit. And I'll be back here soon, probably when the Never Say When CDs arrive. I'll be here then to push that. Although pre-orders for it are doing okay, so I just wish all releases did that well. I've also, and you heard it here first, just had the new solo album in from Stephen Mods Extended Network. He's doing another double LP for Fourth Dimension Records. Received everything yesterday, excuse me, and I'll probably start promoting, doing pre-orders on that next week, as indeed I will with an upcoming Kleistvar double CD as well of Winter and Music for Zeitgeist Fighters. Both of those appeared on vinyl from on other labels in the past, but the double CD I think has 2 bonus tracks. I can't remember. So exchanged so many emails with Gary and Puppy38, the designer, in the last few weeks. I've kind of lost track with everything, to be honest. So, and now this Andrew of Stephen Mods, Andrew Fern of Stephen Mods thing has just arrived as well. So I've got that to spin once again. Not enough plates, So, oh dear. Anyway, I think we should go for that Greek wedding sort of start smashing them. Anyway, I need to sign off and push this, and hope some of you will read the subtext or understand what I'm saying here. It'd be nice to see some more orders coming in over the next few days. Plenty of good stuff still here, I think, including these deals I mentioned, including mail order titles, etc. So yeah, please look at the links below. Back here soon. Thanks. Cheers. Bye bye.